Ever feel a constant, quiet exhaustion that drains your energy, no matter how hard you try to care for yourself? This sneaky thief is often the lack of clear personal boundaries, leaving you overcommitted, tired, and undervalued. But there's hope. Setting boundaries is a powerful, overlooked self-care tool that helps you reclaim your energy and well-being. Protect your peace. Put your well-being back at the center of your life. The secret to true self-care isn't just bubble baths or quiet moments. It's setting healthy boundaries. Boundaries aren't walls. They're loving lines that protect your well-being and define what's okay for you. They're a declaration of self-worth, making space for respect and authentic connection. With boundaries, your self-care truly nourishes you, helping you thrive, recharge, and live joyfully. When we talk about this transformative self-care practice, what are we truly discussing? What are healthy boundaries, really? The term itself can be a bit misleading, often conjuring images that are more about exclusion than protection. Many people imagine towering, unscalable walls built from stone and mortar, designed with the sole purpose of keeping other people out. This mental picture suggests something cold, rigid, and isolating, a way of creating distance and pushing away connection. But this interpretation misses the entire point. Healthy boundaries are not about building a fortress to hide inside. They are not about shutting down your heart or living a life detached from meaningful relationships. In fact, their purpose is the exact opposite. Let's reframe the analogy. Instead of a wall, think of a healthy boundary as the front door to your home. Your home represents your personal space, your time, your energy, your emotions, and your well-being. A front door has a lock, and you are the one who holds the key. You get to decide who you invite inside, when you invite them, and how long they get to stay. Some people get to come into the living room, while others might just stay on the porch for a brief chat. This door isn't a permanent barrier. It's a flexible, intelligent filter that you control, allowing for connection on your own terms and ensuring your inner sanctuary remains a place of peace and safety. A healthy boundary, therefore, is simply a limit that you set to protect yourself. It's a clear signal you send to others and to yourself about what is okay and what is not okay for you. These are the personal rules of engagement that honor your needs and values. They are the lines that define where you end and another person begins, which is essential for any healthy interaction. Without these lines, it's easy to become enmeshed, losing your sense of self in the needs and demands of others. Boundaries are the framework that makes it possible to engage with the world authentically, without sacrificing your own well-being in the process. Ultimately, these limits are a profound expression of self-respect. They are a quiet but firm declaration that your needs matter, your feelings are valid, and your energy is a precious resource that deserves to be protected. Setting a boundary is not an act of aggression or selfishness. It is an act of self-preservation and a prerequisite for genuine connection. It's about creating a dynamic where relationships are built on a foundation of mutual respect, where you can give freely from a full cup because you haven't allowed your reserves to be drained by interactions that cross your personal lines of comfort and safety. So we know that boundaries are not walls, but rather protective and flexible limits. But what do these limits actually look like in the real world? It's helpful to understand that boundaries aren't just one single concept. They are multifaceted and can be categorized into different types, each protecting a unique aspect of your well-being. Thinking about them in these categories can help you identify exactly where you might need to shore up your own defenses. These are not about creating a complicated set of rules, but about bringing awareness to the different ways your energy and peace can be compromised throughout your day. First, let's consider physical boundaries. This category is perhaps the most straightforward and refers to your personal space and your body. It includes your need for physical distance from others, as well as your comfort levels with touch. A physical boundary could be as simple as preferring not to be hugged by acquaintances, needing a certain amount of space around you in a crowded room, or deciding who is allowed to touch you and in what context. It's about honoring your body's sovereignty and ensuring you feel safe and in control of your physical self at all times. This is your personal bubble, and you get to decide its dimensions. Next, we have emotional and mental boundaries. These are a bit more abstract, but are absolutely crucial for protecting your inner world. An emotional boundary is what keeps you from taking on the responsibility for other people's feelings or problems, preventing you from becoming an emotional sponge. It's the line that allows you to empathize with someone without absorbing their pain as your own. A mental boundary, similarly, protects your thoughts, values, and opinions. It means you have the right to your own beliefs without having to defend them constantly, and it gives you permission to say no to conversations or debates that feel draining or toxic. Finally, a huge area where boundaries are needed is around your time and energy. These are some of your most finite and precious resources, and they need careful management. A time boundary involves setting limits on how much of your time you give to others, to work, or to specific activities. This could look like establishing a firm end time for your workday, limiting the length of phone calls, or scheduling dedicated, non-negotiable time for yourself. An energy boundary is about recognizing what activities and interactions replenish you versus which ones drain you, and making conscious choices to protect your vitality, even if it means declining an invitation or stepping away from a demanding situation. Setting boundaries is one of the most profound acts of self-care. It's about recognizing your worth and protecting your well-being, like a quiet revolution from within. Without boundaries, life becomes chaotic and draining, leaving you overwhelmed and exhausted. Boundaries act as an invisible shield, preserving your energy and emotional space. When you protect your limits, self-care truly works, and you can thrive. Setting boundaries isn't just protection, it's empowerment. It's giving yourself permission to say no to what drains you, and yes to what brings you joy. Each boundary is a statement: I matter. My needs are valid. Boundaries help you reclaim your energy, avoid burnout, and live with purpose. You become the captain of your own ship, steering confidently toward fulfillment. Imagine trying to fill a bucket with water, only to find it riddled with tiny leaks. No matter how much you pour in, it never fills up. This is what self-care feels like without strong boundaries. You can meditate, eat well, or relax, but it's never enough. Your energy keeps leaking away, leaving you drained. Without boundaries, self-care can never truly fill you up. Missing boundaries creates a domino effect. One area topples, impacting everything else. Your needs get ignored, self-esteem falters, and you lose touch with your desires. Chronic stress and exhaustion follow, draining your energy and health. You end up overwhelmed and disconnected, living a life that doesn't reflect who you are. The true cost? The quiet fading of your authentic self. Boundaries aren't one size fits all. They're personal and essential for your well-being. Like a map with different borders, your life needs unique lines for self-care and relationships. Protect your time and energy with self-care boundaries. Treat appointments with yourself as sacred. In relationships, set clear limits for respect and balance. Mapping your boundaries is the first step to a healthier, more empowered you. Setting boundaries is essential for balancing work, digital life, and personal time. Protect your evenings and weekends for yourself and loved ones. At work, communicate your availability, set clear start and end times, and resist the urge to check emails after hours. Online, limit notifications and schedule time for social media. Curate your digital space for positivity. And remember, your well-being comes first. Setting boundaries isn't a personality trait, it's a skill you can learn. Start by getting clear on your own needs and limits. Pay attention to what energizes you and what drains you. Those moments of frustration or exhaustion, they're signals that a boundary is needed. Remember, Every time you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. What do you truly want to say yes to? Get specific. Instead of just feeling overwhelmed, identify the cause. Maybe you need 30 minutes of quiet time daily, or no work calls after 6. Before you can communicate a limit, you have to articulate it to yourself. This internal clarity is the foundation for all successful boundary setting. Once you know your limits, the next step is talking about them, often the hardest part. Use I statements to express your needs without blaming. For example, I feel overwhelmed when my schedule is too packed, so I need to be more careful with my commitments. Be direct and respectful. You don't need to over-explain or apologize for your boundaries. Simple statements like, "I'm not able to take that on right now," are enough. Practice saying no, especially in low-stakes situations, to build confidence. Choose the right time and place for these conversations. Calm, not in the heat of the moment. Clear, kind communication is key. Communicating your boundary is just the beginning. Consistency is what makes it stick. If you enforce your boundary sometimes but not others, it sends mixed messages and weakens your position. Every time you uphold your limit, you reinforce it for yourself and others. Expect some pushback, especially from those used to the old dynamic. Stay calm and restate your boundary if needed. Don't debate or defend, just repeat your limit. If boundaries are repeatedly ignored, calmly state the consequence and follow through. Consistency builds trust and makes boundaries the new normal. Let's see boundaries in action with real-life examples. If a friend's last-minute requests are overwhelming you, respond with, "I care about you, but I can't help this week. My schedule's full." For family, if you need solo time, block it out and communicate. "I need Sunday mornings for myself to recharge. I'll be available later." Treat your personal time as non-negotiable. By honoring your own needs, you teach others to do the same. Boundaries aren't about confrontation. They're about clear, calm communication. Protecting your time and energy strengthens your relationships. Boundaries matter at work and online too. If colleagues message after hours, set expectations. "I disconnect from work emails after 6 and on weekends to recharge. I'll respond during work hours." Stick to your rule. Don't reply unless it's urgent. For social media, notice what content drains you. Unfollow or mute accounts that leave you feeling negative. Set time limits for scrolling to protect your mental health. Boundaries aren't about being difficult. They're about staying healthy and authentic. Clear limits help you thrive in every area of life. Look, this whole journey into the world of boundary setting, it's not a one-and-done task. It is a continuous, evolving practice. It's a profound act of getting to know yourself on a deeper level and then choosing to respect that person every single day. It might feel genuinely challenging or even a little scary at first, especially if you are not used to putting your own needs on the priority list like this. But I want you to trust me on this, and more importantly, trust the process. The personal payoff in terms of peace, confidence, and well-being is absolutely huge and will transform how you experience your own life. It is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. So with all of this in mind, I want to extend a small, gentle invitation to you today. I want you to take one small, manageable step on this new path. Just one. Take a moment right now to think about one single area in your life. Maybe it's your self-care routine, a specific relationship with a friend or family member, or your dynamic at work, where a new or a slightly stronger boundary could make a real, positive difference. What is one tiny limit you can realistically set for yourself this week? It doesn't have to be a monumental change. Even the smallest shift can create a significant ripple effect in your life, building momentum for bigger changes down the road. I would genuinely love to hear from you in the comments section below. What is one boundary that you are thinking of practicing this week? Sharing your intention is a powerful act of commitment, and your story could be the very thing that inspires someone else who is struggling with the same issue to take their own first step. And if you found this video helpful in understanding this incredible self-care secret weapon, please do me a favor and give it a thumbs up. And hey, don't forget to subscribe for more practical tips on protecting your energy, honoring your needs, and learning how to truly thrive in this busy world. Just remember this as you move forward. Setting healthy boundaries is never, ever selfish. It is absolutely essential for taking care of yourself, protecting your mental and emotional well-being, and showing up as the best version of you. It's all about honoring yourself, guarding your precious energy, and intentionally setting up the conditions in your life so you can live in a way that feels more balanced, joyful, and deeply fulfilling. You absolutely deserve that protection and peace. Start small, be incredibly kind to yourself through the process, and just watch how this powerful practice begins to change your well-being from the inside out.